भद्रं कर्णेयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः दृष्ट्वागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यसेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ अग्ने नय सुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठां तेन मुक्तिं विधेम। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आब्रह्मन् ब्राह्मणो ब्रह्मवर्चसि जायतामाराष्ट्रे राजन्यशूरैषव्यो दिव्याधी महारथो जायताम् दुग्ध्री धेनुः ऊढानड्वाना सुसप्तिः पुरन्धिर्योषा जिष्णुरथेष्ठा सभेयो युवास्य यजमानस्य वीरो जायताम् निकामे निकामेन पर्जन्यो वर्षतु फलवत्यो न ओषधयः पच्यन्तां योगक्षेमो नः कल्पेताम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदम् अहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मम ब्रह्म निराकरोतु अनिराकरणमस्तु निराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनिरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितमाविरावीः म एधि वेदस्य माणिस्था श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेन अहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Aitareya Upanishad is an excellent Upanishad also, because among Upanishads, Aitareya stands foremost because it belongs to Rig Veda, and Upanishads are trying to reveal the content in essence of the respective Vedas. Aitareya is Rig Vedic, and Isavasya Upanishad is Yajurveda. Aitareya Upanishad is Yajurveda. Mahanarayana Upanishad is Yajurveda. Chandogya Upanishad is Samveda. So like that, we have a number of Upanishads. In fact, Atharveda claims the large number of Upanishads, because the Atharva is important. Tharva is pain, injury, difficulty, calamity. And Atharva is na Tharva, trying to overcome that, redeem ourselves. So this is how it would happen when we try to study Upanishads. Here you see, Mam avatu vaktaram is really an interesting thing, which we have got to note that the teachers must be safe and happier. The students can also be happier, but the students are not stable. The teachers are stables. Our gurus are stable, because however number of students and batches by batches, they come, the teachers are ready to impart their knowledge. But the students, when graduation is done, don't know what could be the kind of life they choose and what kind of family life they enjoy or what kind of profession they life, etc., etc. All this would matter. But gurus constantly improve their knowledge and also try to share that knowledge in a palatable manner to the kind of student that is present to him. That's what Bhavbhuti in Uttarramacharitam says, Vitarati Guruhu Pragne Tatha Jade Gnanam. The Guru has no partiality. He would cover the syllabus and explain the same thing, both, that is, in an intelligent fellow and in a stupid or in a dullard. But the prabhava of that particular knowledge deposited in the minds of the students would have a different expansion and use. So, bhavati tayoh gnanam vividham bhavati. The gnanam instituted into them becomes different. And exactly what we want from the teachers, from gurus, from acharyas, from rishis, and who are sometimes too mantrapatis. They are that kruts and patis and bearers. And they have got to help us, not only with just the knowledge, also with the technology or the methods, how you can acquire the knowledge. Because no student can remain constantly with the guru. The gurus are only for a particular period. And when once that course period is over, you cannot see him at all, or you cannot meet him, or he will not come to meet you into the classroom or like that. And both become independent. But because the guru is having another set batch of students to whom he has to impart, maybe the syllabus to changes. And therefore, it is up to the student to pick up the methodology, the technique, and then try to experiment it more and more and ultimately arrive at the solution. That's exactly what we call as vimarsha. Lalita Parameswari is taken to be Vidya Vimarsha Rupini anta. So, aa Tayi yaru andre Vidya Devi. She is the very embodiment of all kinds of knowledge. Whatever you talk about Vidya, a philosophy, a wisdom, a tool, a means and a measure, etc., all that Vidya should be in the form of Vimarsha, analysis, analytical way. That kind of analytical sense is being imparted not only in the Vedic Samhitas, but also in the Upanishads and in the succeeding literature. Therefore, apart from the knowledge gain, which we hope to have from the Veda Samhitas, if you travel further into the arena of Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads, Sutras, and so on, epics and so on, Puranas, what are you trying to catch? Is again a good question. So you see, the knowledge is a thread. Thread is very continuous. So the thread of knowledge would have different kinds of beads, and that will be a decoration for our brain or intelligence. Why I am telling this introduction means that in Aitareya Upanishad, a lot of experimentation has been shown to us, trying to test which will be the most suitable thing that would satisfy the hunger and thirst on one hand, also how should the food created by the Paramatma, Oshadha Vanaspatis, be introduced to the human be introduced to the human beings for their existence and continuation of existence and also further. So that kind of experimentation has been shown to us in Aitareya Upanishad. For example, food is there, we are going to get it. And if by smelling the food, your stomach won't be full, your hunger and thirst is not. So they discovered, no, you cannot smell the food. You cannot put the food in the ear. So though there are so many indriyas, only the mouth and tongue and the stomach are chosen to be the fit enough gadgets through which the man can be happy, satisfied, and grow and increase in his own activity and all that. So Balarupam. When I just read it, thereby how research begins, how research continues, and how you are able to satisfy your desire, you are able to satisfy the goals of your search by testing. We all know that unless it is properly and perfectly tested, either a medicine or a food or a vegetable or anything like that, it cannot be released to the market. You cannot make a trade out of that. So the commercial crops are very carefully tested before they are put in the shops and made a commerce and trade for that. That exactly we have to understand. Oh, by reading Aitareya or Isavasya or some such Upanishad, I am getting punya. Punya is apart. The punya meter is there. Punya and papa meter is there with Bhagavan. Yamalokadalli irutte, ಆಮೇಲೆ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಡೇ ಬೈ ಡೇ. ಸೊ ಪುಣ್ಯಂ ಕರೋತಿ ಪಾಪಂ ಕರೋತಿ ಪ್ರತ್ಯಹಂ ahararva. But in order that, Shankaracharya, whose birthday celebrations we are going to do very soon, Shankara Jayanti, today we have the first day dawn, Vaisakha Masam, where Madhu Masam, Madhuscha Madhavascha Priyanta is a very important thing. So this Vasanta Rutu is going on. So at this time, we have so many great people born in the Vaisakha Masam. Vishakha Nakshatram is there too only. So Narsimha Jayanti also comes. Shankara Jayanti also comes. When you see Shankara Jayanti and Narsimha Jayanti, you understand Shankara is the Acharya, Guru, and Narasimha is the goal, or Mahavishnu. So this is very interesting. Panchami and Chaturdasi, 1 plus 4. Chaturdasi is 14. 14 is means equal to 1 plus 4 is 5. Shankara Jayanti is Panchami, again 5. So you observe how important is the 5, both for the worldly existence and gaining of knowledge on one hand, ultimately where are we to go and all that. So the research is keeping on in the Upanishads. That's why we should not only think of Upanishad as a matter of gaining punyam. No, punyam is a different matter, but you should know how you can manage the life, how you can improve your conditions of the life, and how you can improve the brain function, alertness until the end life. No, brain should not become dull as the age factor takes place in the body. No, age and brain intelligence should not be troubled each other, because they are all two important things. That's why, there are people who drive the aircraft, who fly with the aircraft, even though at 100 years old, you must have seen, an 100 years and odd man flew from Rajahmundry to Bengaluru in an aircraft. Of course, there was another pilot next to him, but he was able to manage. So that kind of alertness of the brain and skills must not be lost. And all that kind of wealth has been taught to us in Aitareya Upanishad. That's exactly what. Because here in Aitareya Upanishad, we have got Vak and Manas. They are two chosen items in our body, speech and mind. So they are complementary to each other and they are not disintegrated. If they are disintegrated, they don't combine, then we are all having a lot of papam. Yad vacha vadati, tat karmana karoti, tad eshabhyukta, tatra prasatyam jnanam anantam brahma. So look at the statement in the Aitareya Upanishad that yad vacha vadati, tat karmana karoti. That means there should be congruence between the speech and mind. Therefore, all our knowledge, all the culture, civilization, everything will be ultimately connected to the mind of the man. Because mindful fellows only will have a lot of improvement. Therefore, the manasu pratisthita is the word which is used here. That means got established. So we have got establishments, means which will stand long, which will live long, and which will serve long also. Establishment, we call it. And for all that, what is the pillar? For mind and speech, the pillar is the knowledge. Vedasya mahani istaha. And also Srutam, revelations. Don't think that only Rishis had the revelations. No, everybody at every time has opportunity to have the revelations. That's exactly what we call as not the Swabhava, but there is a Pratibha, Vyutpatti, and whatever that mind self-drive is there, that Vyutpatti is there. And therefore, anytime anything could be revealed, not necessarily only in the Rigvedic times or otherwise. Rishis have got revealed texts. No, I don't think so. But we have got to only elevate our mental status and wealth so that we get revelations too. That's what we call initiation is one. And also what you call as that Swabhava is another. And another is that internal impetus that you get it. All that is being and ahoratran sandadhami adhitena anena. See, adhitam is learning. Adhitam is the knowledge that you have acquired past. So that must be, always contentful, and what you learned, what you have acquired, we should be able to rechew that and revise it and be in touch with that. Suddenly, touchal sir anta. Touchal illa antalla. A samskara, samskruti, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. It will be there inside my brain. But only we have got to activate it and make it live. That's what we say. Kalidasa has beautifully said in Abhijnana Sakuntalam that, see, he says that, that is a sloka in 5th act, that Ramyani vikshya madhuramscha nisamya sabdan paryutsuki bhavati yat sukhito api jantuho. Next line is important. Tat chetasa smrati nunam abodha purvam bhavasthirani jananantara sauhrudani. Our brain has got so many folds, and you don't know which fold has got what. The brain research is not complete. Human brain is always a discovery to all people and trying to study that. So we have got thousands of neurologists and brain specialists and all that. But still brain is a mystery, heart is a mystery, etc. So here, ma prahasi ahoratran sandadhami. Whatever you have learned, you have to be in touch with that aha ratri. Both day and night, you should be in touch with them. That exactly will be the experience of many researchers. They may go to sleep, but at 3 o'clock or 12 o'clock,
44th
they get up. They get up and then write down whatever thoughts that strike them at that moment, because they just hit the brain, and only when you record and register, they will be used. Otherwise, they will get erased. Volatile they become. So that's why ahoratran sandadhami. And exactly what said in Aitareya Upanishad, Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma, Satyam Brahma, Jnanam Brahma, Anantam Brahma. So Satya Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Anyway, I think this much introduction is good enough to understand why we are studying the Aitareya Upanishad, Sveta Svatara, and we are in the second kingdom, or second. You know, Aitareya Upanishad is not at all very, very large like Kathopanishad or Mahanarana Upanishad or even Taittiriya Upanishad or so. It's a very brief Upanishad because Rigveda is a very brief matter. But what is brief, please mute Nandan. What is brief? What is brief? We also expanded. I always think of the cabbage. Though the cabbage looks very small, a globe, but when you divide that, large amount of things will come. So, Nandan, mute it. Newton. Nandan, mute Madapabu. Anyway, so now we'll go to the text, second section, where you know that there was the beginning will be like this.
Sir, you should be able to mute him, I think, as
I don't know. Only
as admin.
I cannot do it.
Sesha Chalaya may be able to do it. If he is there.
Anyway, you should understand.
Okay.
Yes, let us go with this kind of background, what to do. In 33 mantras, we are given knowledge about the creation, about how ultimately a man has to be created and how man ultimately became responsible for many more things. So there was Atma in the beginning, and Atma was all alone. He wanted companion, so he created. He said, the entire thing was simply dark and nothing was there. So he said, I want to create worlds. So he created 4 worlds. And having created 4 worlds, then Purusha has been created, and Purusha had number of parts of the body. And once there are the parts of the body of a man, then the Agni, the other gods like Agni, Vayu, Aditya, then directions, and so Avoshadhi Vanaspatis and Chandra and all these respective gods took their positions in the respective limbs of the human body. That's how. So ultimately, Sisnam Nirabhijyata Sisnat Reto Retasa Apaha. With that formula, page number 29, Aitareya Upanishad in our text, Sarvaveda Mantraha. And in the second section, we have to go with Dvitiya Khanda. Ta yeta devata srushtaha asmin mahatcharnave prapatam stamashanaya pipasabhyam anbavarjayatta yattau abruvannayatanam naha prajanihi yasmin pratisthita annamadameti. So this is how the beginning of the second kandam, the second chapter of the Aitareya Upanishad, where when all the gods have been created, and also when they have got the respective ayanas or resting places, then simultaneously even the pipasa and asana pipasa are created. Asana is the aharam, pipasa is the desire to eat and drink. So when both of them are also created as divine, then those all when there was no place for the aharam and the desire for food, for eating or tasting and all that, then they asked Brahmadeva or Atma, please make me know where are we to go and occupy the place in man. See, enam abruvan ayatanam naha prajanihi. Sir, please let us know the ayatanam, the residence or the house in which we could get housed, so that we don't want to just temporarily visit it. Pratisthita annamadameti. So being this food and the desire to eat, desire to drink, if they are somewhere settled permanently, then we will be able to give the energy to the body. Because the body needs energy, body needs activity, body needs mobility. So there are so many things. Mere body is no good. But if you are able to move, if you are able to eat, if you are able to sleep, so all the ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithunam, these are all the important factors which are to be endowed in all the pranins, in all the bhutas. Ahara, nidra, bhayam, maithunam. And dharma is a separate one that will come later on. Now, when the ahara, when the asana takes seat permanently at one place in the man's body, then that annam and asana and the pipasa will be supplying energy. That's why we eat, digested, assimilated, circulated, and energy provided to our body. Anna, that's why it said annam means balam. Annagata pranaha. All the pranam is dependent upon the annam. And the kind of annam you eat, so you become. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has told that aharajanyam balam. And he also told sattva, rajas, tamo guna. And ahara also has been classified into these three divisions. Sattva ahara, raja ahara, and tamas ahara. So we are always advised to take sattva ahara so that we become sattvikas. But rajo ahara and tamas ahara make you hopeless. You cannot, your swabhava ultimately gets different. But sattva is only divine, and you will be able to reach higher spiritual heights in the path of spiritual wisdom. And therefore, The Annam and then the Asana and Pipasa told Prajapati, please tell me where we. Then again, Prajapati might ask, why should you require a residence in the human body? Then they set the heading, purpose, so that we will be always the suppliers of strength for the body. That's why Annamadameti. So Annamadam, ante we are going to supply constantly, continuously, periodically, balam to the body. Therefore, we have so much of menu items and so many people, so much of menu and all that. All that, what would it result into? Annam, balam. Annam, balam, prahuho. People described annam is the balam. And that balam is, annam is ajyata iti annam. All that is consumable, edible is called annam. And further definition of annam is in Aitareya Upanishad, you get it, Anna Suktam. Ajyata iti annam, ajyate, ajyate, this food not only we consume, but it will consume us also. Ajyate atticha bhutani annam. So bhutani atti, bhutani ajyati, bhutebhyaha annam. And meaning that people eat food, having eaten the food, the same food will eat the body also. Eat the body, and if it is affectionate, if you are healthy, the food is good. Supposing indigestion, so many problems crop up, then it is all because of unaccepted, unpalatable substance that is given to your stomach, which will react in giving you diseases and discomfort. Therefore, Annamadamiti, then they showed a way out for Prajapati. Then immediately for Asana and this Pipasa, he created a cow. Tabhyo gamanayatta abruvan vai noyamalamiti. So when cows are supplied, milk is supplied, ghee is supplied, or milk products are supplied, then the asana, the ahara and Pipasa said, no, it is not sufficient for us. Are people simply satisfied by drinking milk? No. We want some solids. That's a drink. Tabhyo agam anayatta. Bringing a cow or creating a cow for them, he said, Paramatma said, and what did he say? Yes, okay, you can be with these two asana and aha. Then immediately they said, the food, no, I am ilamiti. I am na alam. Alam is enough. It is not adequate for us. Abhyo aswamanayatta. So bring the food. To bring the food, what is to happen is some conveyance is required. So immediately, Paramatma tabhyo aswamanayatta bruvan. So for them, he created he brought a horse and told them, yes, you can have this used for getting the asana, for getting the food and all that. It's a transport animal. Horse is a Kshatriya animal. Cow is a Brahmin animal. So Brahman and Kshatriya, they are the two pillars of the society and social order. That's why in Ajurveda, we have got a beautiful saying, Yatra Brahma cha Kshatram cha Samyam cha Ucharata Sada Tam Punyam Lokam Pragnesham ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದು ಪುಣ್ಯಲೋಕ, which is exactly a ಪುಣ್ಯಲೋಕ means where there is a complete coordination and cooperation between Brahma and Kshatriya. Andre priest, Brahma is priesthood, Brahma is knowledge, and Kshatriya is the trana, that is the maintenance, ajamana. So Maharajas organize, priest come and officiate. So one person must be there to organize, and another person must be there to officiate. See that Yajna performed, yajna phala is reaped by all people and whole world will be sukha. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. How does it happen? When there is this kind of coordination between Brahmin and a Yajamana. Therefore, in order that a Kshatriya animal and a Brahmin animal, cow and horse are given to him, then Tabhyaha Purushamanayatta Bruvan Sukrutam Bateti Purusho Vava Sukrutam. Then Purushaha Arayatta Bruvan. So well done. Then they said Sukrutam. It is well done. But Purushaha Va Avak Sukrutam. Therefore, when there is a Brahmin, when there is a Kshatriya, when there is a cow, when there is a horse is mobile, cow is productive. So cow is a food productive, and the same thing is being communicated by the horse. So it's a symbolic one, and you can keep on talking about the importance of cow and horse in human life or anybody's life. Because horse is created by Paramatma in such a manner that its heart is really interesting. It can run continuously for miles and miles and hours and hours. That's a very strong heart. Whereas man's heart is very fragile. So if at all he wants to make a track event, he has to make a lot of exercise, practice. Then only he can practice the track event. Or if you want to go to Kedarnath walking or Ayyappa temple down the Sabarmalai, you must walk so many kilometers. So you should practice walking. When you go to Dhardham, without that practice of walking, you will be hopeless. Therefore, when he has got that walking stability, I'll say also the eating sense, health, then he is called as Sukrutam. It is well done, and therefore all human beings are Sukrutas, noble creations. Sukrutas means, that's why he says, Manava Janma Kadu Doddadu. Purandardas tells all people in his Kirtanas, Manava Janma Kadu Doddadu, Huchappagalira, Adu Halu Madabede. Oh, stupids, don't spoil that. You use that man's birth in a very fruitful manner. That is an art. Similarly, we have got Manavottamudaina Ramachandrudu. When Sagaraja says Manava is okay, and Uttama Manava you should become. That means you should appropriately use your body, then you become Uttama Vada. Even in Bhagavad Gita, you observe, 15th chapter is called as Purushottama Yoga. You drop Purusha, then what is that among 17 yogas or 18 yogas which have been enunciated in entire Bhagavad Gita of 700 slokas or so, Krishna has taken more than 574 slokas to impart that yoga culture and yoga knowledge and yoga practice, etc. And therein, ultimately, before concluding the Gnana Marga or Gnana Yoga, from 12th chapter to 13th chapter to 18th chapter, Kshetra, Kshetrajna Vibhaga, Dinda Shuru Marbittu, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, the 18th chapter, very big one, like Rigveda 10th Mandala. So, you observe that Uttama Yoga, Manavottamaha, Uttama Yoga is Sukrutam Purushaha. So, man is one who has been created perfectly. Sukrutam means done, manufactured. Actually, mother's womb is a factory where a baby is being manufactured and become ready at 5th and 7th and months to be marketed into the world, so that punyam, papam, lokam, loka is opportunity, punya, papa is one's own activity and acquirement. So like that, he said, Sukrutam, Krutam, Purushaha, Sukrutam. So a man is one perfectly done. Even today, the man's body is a ocean. Nobody can, no anatomy can describe. Whenever body goes wrong, people have got to do a lot of testing and experimentation and put to number of medical electronics equipment, etc., etc., still diagnosis becomes a question mark. Therefore, that Purusha is an ocean. That's why we have got a Purusha Suktam. What is in Purusha Suktam? Visvato Vrutva Achyatishthad Dashangulam is one statement. At the same time, and he will be there, but he will not be born, but he will cause people to be born, so that the people have been given opportunity that they can make hay of the birth and time, or the ayus adopted, attributed to them. That's why Purusho Vava Sukrutam. This is a wonderful statement. The number of commentators are there to take this particular line in a very different manner and explain. Nalam, they are not satisfied. Now again they said, Ta abravitu yathayatanam pravisata iti. See, iti is a statement from some other place, earlier text, Vedic text that has been drawn. Ta abravitu, they have been told that yahayatanam pravisata iti. Okay, you enter into the place where I marked for you, get into that. Abravit, because anything done must be of application value. If your work, our Purushottam always tell, what is that I should do at this age, and I cannot go on with learning fresh everything in the world, because our clock is on. And so we have to pick up what is important for the rest of the life. For senior citizens especially, up to 25 years, we go to school, college, university, etc., and take up number of courses, get number of certificates. But beyond all that, when you reach the 60 plus age, all that, so you should stop reading, stop reflections, also start reflections. That's exactly is Upanishads, Vedanta. What is Vedanta? What is Upanishad? The only reflection is there. Whatever has been said in Samhita and all that, the reflection, thinking, because mind should be given orientation for thinking. Therefore, Ayatanam Pravisada ite. Then what happened is that then Agnirvag Bhutva Mukham Pravisatu Vayuhu Prano Bhutva Nasike Pravisatu Adityaha Chikshur Bhutva Akshini Pravisatu Dishaha Srotram Bhutva Karnau Pravisatu. Gopinath avare recite Madi. R. Subramaniam, anybody please repeat this 100 page.
ಗುರುಗಳೇ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು?
ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಗ್ನಿರ್ವಾಗ್ ಅಗ್ನಿಹಿ ವಾಗ್ ಭೂತ್ವಾ ಫುಲ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಓದಿ.
ಓಂ ಅಗ್ನಿರ್ವಾಗ್ ಭೂತ್ವಾ ಮುಖಂ ಪ್ರಾವಿಶದ್ವಾಯುಃ ಪ್ರಾಣೋ ಭೂತ್ವಾ ನಾಸಿಕೆ ಪ್ರಾವಿಶದಾದಿತ್ಯಶ್ಚಕ್ಷುರ್ಭೂತ್ವಾ ಕ್ಷಿಣೀ ಪ್ರಾವಿಶದ್ದಿಶಃ ಶ್ರೋತ್ರಂ ಭೂತ್ವಾ ಕರ್ಣೋ ಪ್ರಾವಿಶನ್ನೋಷಧಿ ವನಸ್ಪತಯೋ ಲೋಮಾನಿ ಭೂತ್ವಾ ತ್ವಚಂ ಪ್ರಾವಿಶಶ್ಚಂದ್ರಮಾ ಮನೋ ಭೂತ್ವಾ ಹೃದಯಂ ಪ್ರಾವಿಶನ್ ಮೃತ್ಯುರಪಾನೋ ಭೂತ್ವಾ ನಾಭಿಂ ಪ್ರಾವಿಶದಾಪೋ ರೇತೋ ಭೂತ್ವಾ ಶಿಷ್ಣಂ ಪ್ರಾವಿಶನ್.
Exactly. So look here. Again, the man when created, and these respective gods, Agni, Vayu, Surya, Chandra, etc., they got posted and they occupied the body parts of the human being. So ultimately, no vacancy board was kept over the body. That's why there is no vacancy at all in the body where this asana and pipasa should settle down. Vacancy idre alva, seat idre hogbodu, seat illa andre hogbodu. Therefore, look, the problem that cropped up for this asana and this hunger and thirst. Look here, Agnihi Vak Bhutva Mukham Pravisato. Immediately, Agni turned into speech and then occupied the entire face. And next, Vayuhu Prano Bhutva Nasike Pravisato. Immediately, the wind god, the Vayudeva, occupied the nose. Then Adityaha Chikshuhu Bhutva Akshini Pravisato. Surya, Aditya, became the eyeball and eye. So vision. So he occupied so eye has been occupied by Aditya. Then Dishaha Srotram Bhutva Karnau Pravisato. The directions, 10 directions, they became a ear and entered into the ear of the body. Then Oshadhi, then Srotram Bhutva Karnau Pravisatu Oshadhi Vanaspatayaha Lomani Bhutva Twacham Pravisatu. Ee Oshadhi Vanaspatigalella Enaitu Twacham, Twak andre Charma. Charma has got 2 layers, as you all know, outer and inner. Inner is always white, and color comes only to the outer skin. That's why Shakespeare said, how deep is beauty? Skin deep ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಫಿಲಾಸಾಫಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. In Macbeth or elsewhere, Shakespeare said, what is beauty? What is beauty? We are clever about it. Beautiful anta. He said, only skin deep. If you just skin got out, then you cannot love that. You cannot like it. You will be away from that. Therefore, and moreover, the entire skin is perforated. That we should understand. So a perforation is being filled by the loma. Loma means hair. And therefore, there was a question in Sadhava Brahmanam, how many hair is there in our body? How many pranas are there in body? That was the number discussion came back in a Gnana Sabha, which was attended by a large number of rishis, munis, and presided by Brahmadeva. Brahma was the chairman of the session, academic session, where so many people have gathered to discuss about the number of pranas, about the number of hair, kind of sin. All this was a topic which will be coming in the Satapada Brahmana. Then everybody was proposing some number, 3, 7, 5, 24, 52, etc., etc. But when you come to the question of loma or prana, illimitable number of hair is there. You cannot count the number of hair in our body. You cannot count number of pranas in our body. That's why he said, Ko nama Veda, Kiyanta ime antaratmani pranavaha. Ko nama Veda, Kiyanta ime lomani charmani sthitaha anta. Andre, who knows how many lomas are there? That means there is no place at all upon the skin to occupy for this asana and asana and pipasa, because the Oshadhi Vanaspatis have taken occupation in the entire skin. Therefore, lomani bhutva tvacham pravisatu. Understand? So they are very quick. The gods are so quick that they occupied, because to cook food, to eat food requires more time. But for these gods, they are alert and active and agile. In no time, they occupied, and ultimately the board was put up, no vacancy in the body. Look here. Then Chandramaha Mano Bhutva Hrudayam Pravisatu. The Chandra, the moon, became the mind and entered into the heart. Mind and heart, you understand? That is the place of emotions. Emotions depend upon your mind, and all emotions come from your heart. And heart is the most important seat whereby the blood circulation depended. So depending upon your emotions, the BP, that's why when BP rises or becomes low and etc., people say, no, don't become angry, don't become emotional, don't become kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada. These are all the problems which will make the BP fluctuate in our body. If not, if you are a calm, quiet, and calm, equipoised person, minded person, then the blood circulation will be only 80-120. Your BP will be 80-120. But because of number of other reasons, the BP rises. If it rises beyond certain limits, you get problem. Therefore, you understand, the manas is the karanam, bandha mokshayoho, mana eva. So, ಈ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾರಣ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಬಂಧ ಆರ್ ಮೋಕ್ಷ. ಬಂಧ ಈಸ್ ಬಾಧ್ಯತ. ಬಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ದೋ ಯು ಸೇ ಟು ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ, but you worry more than your friend worries about what problem your friend tells you. Similarly, a doctor, he prescribes a medicine and says, okay, take for 3 days and appear to me after 3 days. Meanwhile, if any difference is there, phone. But sometimes the same complaint were to come to him, or he will keep on bothering. I have prescribed that medicine, and what would happen in him? And that is a problem for the doctor. And in older days, you remember Subramanya Vare, Hastavasi anta ondittu. The doctors used to prepare mixture with, and then give them, touching that medicine to the patient, so that the doctor's touch would have more effect upon the medicine given. Even today in Bengaluru, we have got one doctor near our house. He's recently shifted, but ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲೇ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಶಾಪ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಶಾಪಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ನನಗೆ ತೋರಿಸಿ ನಾನು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. I mean, that is older doctor. So that kind of system nowadays gone. People will touch paper and pen and give you the prescription sheet full. When you take to the medical shop, it will be thousands of rupees bill. Anyway, but so here you see, manobhutva hrudayam pravishatu. And mrutyuh apano bhutva nabhim pravisatu. Mrityu is exit. Prana, see, the entrance and the exit. Entrance through mouth and through nose, and exit through the apanam, the other. So, prano, panavyano, dana samana, saprana, svetavarna, sankhyayana sagotra, Gayatri Saturvigam, Setyakshara Tripada Shatkutshihi, Panchasirshopanayane Viniyoga, Om Bhu. Go on. So, Panchasirsha Upanayana, that is, you see, Panchasirsha is the Panchapranas. Sirsha are the pranas, vital ears. So, you have to invoke or invite the Panchapranas inside you, make them quite sound and sad. That's why you have got, what are those Panchasirshas? The Sirsha means top priority. Priority wise only top importance is Sirsha. That's why we have got Atharva Sirsha Upanishads are there. Atharva Sirsha Narayana Upanishad, Atharva Sirsha Devi Upanishad, Atharva Sirsha Ganapati Upanishad, Atharva Sirsha Surya Upanishad. Only we have got limited Sirsha Upanishads. Sirshnam, Visirshnam, Grudra Sirshyam, like that. So here, you understand all these. So Apanavayu went out into the Diguhyaya Namaha. That's why we always make namaskara to Mrityu, so that he will remain calm and quiet and allow us to do our activity. That's why we say Mrityu Mrityum Namamyaham is one point. And Mrityunjaya mantra, we do it. That there we say Triyambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarakamiv bandhanan mrityo mukshiya mahamrutadu. So Mrityu Muksha are the Mrityunjaya and Mrityu Mrityu. Mrityu Mrityu is Vishnu Narayana, Rama. And Mrityu Jaya is Shiva. So those people who get Mrityu, they go to Mashanam or they go to Smashanam. There again, counter signature by Shiva should be given to you, to admit you into the Mashanam and get away from the body and make your body, make your prana or Atma travel further and further. Therefore, Shiva and Vishnu both are very important people for us. Mrityunjaya and Mrityu Mritya. So Mrityunjaya Japa, Mrityu Mrityu Japa. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrusimham Bhishanam. See, all these Nrusimha, Bhishana, Mruch, all these are Bhayam causing. But all that Bhayam is for Bhadram. It's only positivity koskara. Negativity suppressed, positivity promoted. Adakoskara, you understand, then this Mrutyu entered, the Apana Vayu entered the Mrutyu or Guda or the Guhya part of it. Next, what you have got? Apano Bhutva Nabhim Pravisatu Apo Reto Bhutva Sisnam Pravisatu. You know, water is the essence of our body. We all people can agree to say that our body contains, Purusha body contains 75% of water. Remaining 20% is other things distributed. Therefore, Apo Vairetaha, you make a prayer to Apo. Apo Vaidagum Sarvam Viswa Bhutanyapa Pranaha Pasava Apo Annamapo, etc. etc. You see? And even Satapada Brahmana Yajurveda tells you that Apo Annasya Rasaha Vairetaha, Apo Vairetaha. So you understand that Retaha is the essence of the body. Annasya Rasaha Vairetaha. Indeed, and Annasya Rasa means that Anna Rasa is being extracted into our body, not only from stomach, from spleen, from liver, from heart, from blood. Oh God, any and every part inside our body is contributory for the Retas. Therefore, Reto Balam. So, our Retas anadu Balam. Our Retasu, the essence of the entire body. Bodyally ಯಾವ parts ಇದೆಯೋ all parts will exert that kind of thing, and ultimately they merge into the Samputikaranam. The Samputikaranam, what we do in Mahanyasam, Gopinath Avare, adu trying to bring all things together at one place and make it as a total energy, and that total energy is being installed in the man so that he can procreate and he can get the progeny. And so on. The entire organization in our body and further is so grand and great and mysterious that only Paramatma knows what he has done, diagnosing, not any human being. That's why always we say, Devar Gottappa, Yanagato, or Manage Bartaro, hospital in the Ange Uttara, Gotiland, Heltar. Not a power hospitalized Agidare Andre, Gotilapa, Devar Pratana Marana, Mrutunjaya, Jaya, Japa, Homa Marana, and Heltar. Ange, Illi, Snam Pravisan. Then you understand the process, how beautiful it went. Next to Udipa Gopinath Avare, Tamasanaya Papasa Abruta. Next. Tamasanaya Pipase Abrutau. Avabhyam hiprajani heti te abravit etasveva vam devata swabhajami etasu bhaginyau karomiti tasmat yasya kasyaicha devatayai havihi gruhyate bhaginyaveva asyam asanaya pipase bhavataha. This is a secret. So you observe, why are we offering Naivedyam for all gods? Is a good question. The other day I put the message, we have got many doubts regarding the Genesis, and we are always in search of answers for them. And so the questions and answers have been given to us regarding the Genesis or origin of creation, workings of the creation, and execution of the creation, and annihilation of the creation. All these things, activity is being informed to us in this. So here it is said, then when Asana and Pipasa found out that there is no vacancy in the human body, then they asked again for Brahmadeva, what have you done for us? Where is the location for us? Where should we settle down? Where is our house in the human body? Then Paramatma said, No vam devata swabhajamyeta suhaginyau karomi. Whatever food that is given to the gods will be shared by them to you. Agnaye swaha. Agni will share the food to you too. Indraya swaha. Indra too shares food to you. And therefore, whatever havi that you offer to the gods in the homa, you become the participants and you become the sharers. That's why homa ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೋಮ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ. ಹೋಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ನೈವೇದ್ಯ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗ್ನಿ ಶಿಷ್ಟಕೃತು ಆಹುತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನೈವೇದ್ಯ. ಅವಾಗ ಯಜ್ಞೇಶ್ವರಾಯ ನಮಃ, ಆ ಯಜ್ಞೇಶ್ವರಾಯ ನಮಃ ಅಂತ ಯಜ್ಞೇಶ್ವರಿಗೆ ಪಾಯಸ ತುಪ್ಪ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೈವೇದ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ರೆಮಿನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಆಫರಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಿ ಗಾಡ್ಸ್, that becomes prasada for us and we consume. When we all consume, that becomes the food for our asana and pipasa, and that becomes the retas, and the cycle goes on. So look at the cycle, recycling. So food is the matter which will be recycled again and again, and human life continues, the world continue, and the productivity like of cow and horse exist. And so the entire machinery of the creation, so that it could sustain for long years. Satamanam bhavatu sataya purushas satendriyaha is Ajurveda assurance that a man is satayushi, 100 years healthy body. And he will live 100, he will touch the 100 wall. 100 means not just 100, they can go even beyond, because Satam vai Purnam and that. So Satam means Purnam, perfect. So complete. So Satam vai Purnam, that's why Satamanam bhavati, and Satayuhu, Purnam Ayuhu. And so, and Bale Indriye Pratitishthati. Indriya is senses. Until the last breath of life, you should be able to hear sounds, see things, smell things, and also taste the food and enjoy the life. That's a maha asirvada which we require from the God. Sunayasena maranam vinadayanyena jivanam is exactly the target of our life, which is being indicated, suggested by Aitareya Maharshi in the second khandam of that. So I think you love this particular Upanishad, to be repeatedly reading and understand and communicate and explain that how beautiful, useful, and understandable and gnana-pradam is Aitareya Upanishad. I stop here. Om Swasti. Any doubts? You can ask me.
Small doubt, sir.